All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about how generative AI is completely changing the game for software developers. We're going to look at how these tools are becoming really essential partners at every single stage of development, from that first spark of an idea all the way through to deployment.
Okay, let's get right to it. To really see the difference, just look at a super common task, parsing a CSV file. On the left, you've got the old way. You're digging through Python docs, writing all that boring boilerplate code, and then manually debugging everything. But look at the right. With an AI, you write one simple comment describing what you want, and the AI just handles the rest. This isn't just about being faster. It's about letting you stay focused on the real problem you're trying to solve.
So, where does every project start? With an idea, right? But going from a cool idea to an actual workable plan, well, that can be a massive hurdle. Let's see how AI can step in and act like your personal software architect, helping you build out a whole project structure from just a single thought.
Now check out this prompt. This is not a simple question. It's a detailed brief. You're telling the AI, hey, put on your software design expert hat. You're giving it specific requirements, asking it to think about potential problems. You're basically turning a general-purpose chatbot into a highly specialized consultant. This right here is the secret sauce. Great prompt engineering.
And this is what you get back. It's a clean, logical, high-level overview of the system. The AI has broken the problem down into its core parts: a database for the questions, a UI for the user, and a component to do the grading. This isn't code yet, but it's a solid blueprint that any developer can look at and say, okay, I get it. Let's start building.
All right, so we've got our high-level plan. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of actually writing the code. And this is where tools like GitHub Copilot are just mind-blowing. It's like having an AI pair programmer sitting right there with you in your editor.
And look how easy it is to get started. You're not flipping over to another window or typing some complex command. You just write a comment in plain English, exactly like you would if you were leaving a note for a coworker. That's it. That's the trigger. The AI reads that comment, understands the context of your file, and gets ready to write the code for you.
And boom, just from that one little comment, Copilot spits out a whole Python function. And it's smart. It knew it needed the matplotlib library, so it imported it. It figured out how to sort the data to find the most common words, and then it wrote all the code to generate and display a bar chart. Think about the time that just saved. It's incredible.
And here it is, the final result. A perfect, clean bar chart showing exactly what we asked for. We went from a simple sentence to a working piece of data visualization in just a few seconds. For anyone doing scripting, prototyping, or data analysis, this is an absolute game changer.
So writing the code is one thing, but we all know that's only half the battle. You have to make sure the code is actually good. So let's shift gears to the analysis phase. This is where AI can act like a superpowered code reviewer that never gets tired, spotting issues that even a human might miss.
Okay, take a look at this Python function. It's designed to find duplicate items in a list. And, it works, but any experienced developer is going to look at this and immediately see a huge red flag: those nested for loops. This is what we call O of n squared complexity, which is just a fancy way of saying it gets really, really slow as the list gets bigger. Let's see what the AI thinks.
And yep, it nails it. Instantly. We feed this code to Gemini, and its analysis is perfect. It figures out what the function does, and then it goes right for the weak spot. And it doesn't just say, hey, this is slow. It tells you why it's slow, explaining the whole O of n squared problem with the nested loops. This kind of instant feedback is amazing for helping developers write better, more efficient code right from the start.
Okay, so we've seen AI as an architect, a coder, and a code reviewer. But in every single one of those cases, the quality of what we got back depended entirely on the quality of what we put in. And that brings us to what is maybe the most important new skill for developers: mastering the prompt. It's the real skill behind all this magic.
It's really helpful to think about the different types of prompts. A zero-shot prompt is just a straight question, no context needed. A few-shot prompt is where you give it a couple of examples to show it what you want. And constrained prompts are super useful for us developers. That's where you can say things like, write this in Python and don't use any external libraries. Knowing which one to use is key.
And honestly, it all boils down to being specific. Just look at this example. The weak prompt: connect to a database. I mean, what does that even mean? The AI has to guess everything. But the best prompt? It's like a mini requirements document.
It specifies the database type, the exact file path, and even how to handle errors. When you're that clear, you get back code that's way more useful.
Now, with all of this amazing power and automation, it's really easy to start thinking that the developer's job is somehow shrinking. But I'm telling you, it's the exact opposite. Your role is just shifting from being the person who lays every single brick to being the architect who directs the whole construction. Human oversight is absolutely critical.
Okay, if you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. You have to treat AI-generated code like it came from a very talented, very fast, but very inexperienced junior developer. You cannot, ever, just blindly copy and paste it into your production code. You are still the expert. You have to read it, understand it, and test it. At the end of the day, you own it. So, what are your greatest strengths in this new world? They're all the things the AI has no clue about. Your ability to see a design flaw, your deep understanding of the project's real goals, knowing when to step in and take over because the AI lacks context, and most importantly, your responsibility for the final product. The AI is a tool, but you are the engineer.
Look, these tools are here, they are powerful, and they are only getting more integrated into our daily work. The AI is your new co-pilot. It's there to handle the tedious stuff so you can focus on the big picture. So the real question for all of us isn't if we're going to use AI, it's how. How are you going to step into the pilot seat and use these tools to build amazing things? Thanks for tuning in.